Welcome to our Hong Kong brief. I am your host, Ginny. Today, we're diving into some fascinating stories from around the city and beyond. First up, a daring escape. Back in 1974, Yeung Yiu-hung, a 23-year-old woman involved in a massive heroin bust, managed to slip away from Sheung Shui Police Station, fueling fears she might spill the beans on a drug gang. Her story didn't end there. She was later caught in Taiwan, admitted her involvement, but denied leading the gang. Quite a roller coaster. Next, let's talk about the iconic bamboo scaffolding that has shaped Hong Kong's skyline. It's not just a building material but a symbol of resilience and craftsmanship. However, starting in March 2025, the government plans to phase it out in favor of metal scaffolding due to safety concerns. This change might impact the skilled spiders, the craftsmen who have kept this tradition alive for generations. It's a bittersweet moment for Hong Kong's cultural heritage. Finally, a look toward the stars. Hong Kong has the potential to become a major hub in the space economy, riding the wave of China's booming aerospace industry. With private companies like iSpace and Landspace leading the charge, there's a real opportunity for Hong Kong to innovate and collaborate regionally. By updating legal frameworks and fostering cooperation, the city could reach for the stars and become a regional space powerhouse. Please continue watching for more details. The South China Morning Post vividly recounts the daring escape of Yeung Yiu-hung, a notorious Hong Kong drug queen, from the Sheung Shui Police Station in 1974. This dramatic event unfolded just an hour after her arrest in connection with a massive heroin seizure, revealing a well-orchestrated plan that underscored her deep connections within the Chiu Chow-dominated drug syndicate. As she was being processed, Yeung seized a fleeting moment of vulnerability, asking to use the toilet, and then suddenly bolted, leaping into a waiting red BMW that sped away into the night. Her escape was so meticulously staged that the vehicle was later found pushed off the road to mislead authorities, a testament to the cunning and resourcefulness of her network. Her subsequent arrest in Taiwan, where she admitted her involvement in drug trafficking but denied being a top boss, only added to her legend. Her life took a tragic turn when a Taiwanese court sentenced her to life imprisonment in 1975, prompting her emotional outburst in court, a stark reminder of the perilous and ruthless world she inhabited. The South China Morning Post also explores the enduring cultural significance of bamboo scaffolding in Hong Kong, a symbol of resilience and heritage amid the city's relentless modernization. Despite the towering steel and concrete structures that define Hong Kong's skyline, bamboo remains a vital, practical material for construction and renovation. Its strength, flexibility, and affordability have made it indispensable, supporting everything from high-rise scaffolding to vibrant pop-up Cantonese opera theaters. However, as safety concerns grow, the government's move in 2025 to gradually phase out bamboo in favor of metal scaffolding signals a shift away from this ancient craft. Nonetheless, the spiders, the skilled bamboo scaffolders, continue to uphold a tradition that embodies the city's unique blend of heritage and practicality, even as the craft faces the threat of fading into history. Meanwhile, the South China Morning Post highlights Hong Kong's emerging potential in the burgeoning global space economy, a frontier where the city could leverage its financial prowess and legal expertise. Despite initial skepticism from critics, the rapid growth of China's private aerospace sector, exemplified by companies like iSpace and Landspace, demonstrates a new era of innovation driven by technological advances and government support. Hong Kong's strategic position, bolstered by its legal framework and financial infrastructure, could enable it to become a regional hub for space enterprises, much like Luxembourg, which has successfully fostered a space industry through supportive legislation and incentives. With ongoing developments in satellite technology, space resource exploration, and international collaborations, Hong Kong stands poised to capitalize on this high-growth sector, provided it updates its legal and regulatory landscape to accommodate the rapid evolution of outer space activities and encourages regional cooperation under initiatives like the Belt and Road The South China Morning Post vividly captures the resurgence of blonde hair as a powerful cultural statement, spotlighting celebrities like Bella Hadid and Beyoncé who are embracing the look with boldness and intention. Hadid's dramatic transformation on the Cannes red carpet, achieved through a meticulous 14-hour process, symbolizes a deliberate reinvention, echoing the historical and cultural significance of blondness as a symbol of rebellion, femininity, and visibility. This trend is more than aesthetic, it's an act of agency, especially for women of color, who use blonde as a badge of empowerment and a way to challenge traditional beauty standards. Iconic figures such as Emma Stone, Jennie from Blackpink, and the Kardashian-Jenners have all contributed to this ongoing movement, transforming blondness from mere style into a declaration of self-assertion and liberation. Meanwhile, the South China Morning Post introduces Indi Yellick-O'Connor, Lord's younger sister, as a rising star in her own right, carving out her unique voice in the music scene. Her upcoming EP, Fame is a Bedroom, promises a raw exploration of themes like intimacy, sexuality, and sisterhood, rooted in her personal experiences and poetic sensibilities. Yellick's songwriting is deeply autobiographical, inspired by her life's journeys, from a turbulent relationship to a road trip along the Pacific coast, all expressed through honest lyrics and poetic storytelling. Growing up in a musically rich environment, with a poet mother and a singer father, she seamlessly merges poetry and music, emphasizing authenticity and self-expression. As an openly bisexual artist, Yellick embodies a modern, inclusive approach to her artistry, confidently navigating her identity and influences while forging her independent path away from her sister's shadow. The Independent reports on the latest developments in European football, focusing on Victor Gyökeres's disciplinary issues at Sporting Lisbon amid Arsenal's interest in acquiring him. Gyökeres, who scored an impressive 39 league goals last season, has refused to attend pre-season training, complicating negotiations for his transfer to the Premier League. Sporting Lisbon's president, Frederico Varandas, remains composed, indicating that a resolution may involve fines and apologies, but emphasizing that the club's interests take precedence. Arsenal, eager to bolster their squad ahead of the new season, is closely monitoring the situation while also pursuing other key signings like Noni Madueke and Martin Zubimendi. This transfer saga underscores the complexities of football negotiations, where player discipline, club interests, and strategic planning collide, all set against the backdrop of Arsenal's ambition to strengthen their squad for the upcoming campaign. The South China Morning Post reports on a troubling trend where Hongkongers are turning to mainland Chinese driving schools to acquire licenses illegally and at significantly lower costs. Middlemen in Shenzhen offer tailored packages that include lessons, tests, and even assistance in falsifying residency or employment documents, which are criminal offenses punishable by long prison sentences. These services allow Hongkongers to bypass the lengthy and costly process in Hong Kong, where obtaining a full license involves at least 15,000 Hong Kong dollars and a wait of over a year. Authorities are aware of this illicit activity, verifying documents rigorously and warning against the use of false instruments, but the demand continues to grow, driven largely by the long waiting times and high costs in Hong Kong. Experts suggest that cross-border cooperation and stricter verification processes could serve as deterrents to curb this illegal practice. The South China Morning Post also shares the inspiring journey of Daniela Means, a Hong Kong-born athlete who overcame a brutal mugging in Los Angeles to become a celebrated figure in bodybuilding and powerlifting. In May 2021, Daniela was attacked with a hammer, suffering severe facial injuries that left her shaken and fearful. However, she refused to let the trauma define her life, and within 2 months, she competed in the U.S. Powerlifting Association Nationals, defying her fears and proving her resilience. Her athletic journey spans gymnastics, rugby, and eventually powerlifting and bodybuilding, disciplines she embraced with relentless determination. Her perseverance paid off when she earned her professional bodybuilding card in May 2023, on the anniversary of her attack, a testament to her strength and resilience. Daniela now channels her experiences into coaching and inspiring others, exemplifying how mental toughness and discipline can transform adversity into success. The South China Morning Post reports on a disturbing case at the University of Hong Kong involving a male law student accused of creating over 700 AI-generated pornographic images of classmates and acquaintances without their consent. The university issued a warning and demanded a formal apology from the student, known as X, but victims and their supporters argue that the response was insufficient and came too late. Victims revealed that X used free online AI software to generate explicit images from screenshots of social media, organizing them into folders labeled with victims' names, many of whom had not authorized such use. Despite the university's engagement and an apology letter from X, victims expressed dissatisfaction with the university's handling, citing delays and inadequate disciplinary measures. Currently, Hong Kong law does not criminalize the act of creating AI-generated non-consensual explicit images, limiting victims' avenues for legal recourse and raising concerns about the need for legislative reform to better protect individuals from digital sexual violence. South China Morning Post reports a disturbing surge in scams across Hong Kong, where two men were recently detained for orchestrating a series of fraudulent schemes that drained nearly 10 million Hong Kong dollars from victims. These scammers, posing as law enforcement officers, meticulously crafted their deception by arranging meetings in hotels, where they dressed convincingly and used fabricated documents like arrest warrants to manipulate their targets. Victims, ranging from teenagers to seniors, fell under the scammer's psychological control, often carrying large sums of cash or being coerced into withdrawing more from banks. The police's detailed investigation highlights the sophistication of these operations, emphasizing the need for public vigilance and skepticism towards suspicious calls and requests for money. The same publication sheds light on a grim mental health crisis in Hong Kong, where 1,138 suicides were recorded last year, the highest since 2003. The NGO Samaritan Befrienders Hong Kong underscores that middle-aged men, particularly those aged 30 to 49, experienced a significant rise in suicide rates, driven by economic pressures and societal burdens. Many of these individuals, often the primary breadwinners and caregivers, grapple with financial instability and job insecurity, which exacerbate feelings of despair. The organization's outreach efforts reveal that men are less likely to seek help due to shame, with a notable proportion of those contemplating suicide being unemployed or blue-collar workers. Their call for increased mental health support and early intervention aims to address this silent epidemic, urging society to recognize and combat the stigma surrounding mental health struggles. In the realm of international diplomacy, South China Morning Post reports that Chinese Foreign Minister Wang Yi engaged in constructive dialogue with U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio in Kuala Lumpur, marking a positive step toward easing bilateral tensions. The discussions, characterized as pragmatic and respectful, focused on managing differences and expanding cooperation between the two superpowers. Wang emphasized that both nations recognize their significant global influence and the importance of dialogue, with prospects for high-level meetings, possibly between President Trump and Xi Jinping, on the horizon. Meanwhile, Wang also addressed regional stability in the South China Sea, condemning external interference and advocating for a narrative of peace and cooperation. He contrasted China's openness and multilateral approach with the U.S.'s tariffs and protectionist policies, asserting China's commitment to regional unity and free trade while warning against the risks of acting as pawns in larger geopolitical games. Thank you for tuning in. The content above showcases the latest briefing reports and analytical synopses, thoughtfully curated by the 6Do team. These insights stem from a wide array of reputable media outlets, think tanks, government sources, and specialized experts worldwide. We encourage you to explore these sources for a comprehensive perspective. Keep in mind that while the content may not always align with the official standpoint of 6Do Brief, it's not meant to be taken as absolute directives for decision-making. Comprising seasoned media professionals, learned scholars, and accomplished scientists, the 6Do team embodies a trailblazing, fully independent media entity. To customize 6Do Brief to meet your professional needs, you have the option to subscribe to a diverse array of briefings on our website, 6dobrief.com. Regardless of your location, you can conveniently receive 6Do Brief via email.